the heart and soul behind every business. Stories. Welcome to Business Story of the Week, hosted by me, Joshua Laurie. From setbacks to comebacks, from tragedies to triumphs, we inspire entrepreneurs through conversations that matter. Witness the magic that turns dreams into reality. Whether it's your career, business, or life, your success is always one story away. This is Business Story of the Week. And welcome back, folks. Welcome back to Business Story of the Week. I am your host, Joshua. And my question today is, does it mean to you to be relentlessly consistent? What does it mean to you, your company, your family, your life? What does it mean to be consistent? Achieving daily wins, right? And more important than that, what does it take? Well, Jim has the answer for us today. Our guest today, Jim Packard, is a Maine native and University of Maine alum. He has a remarkable journey spanning entrepreneurship, inventions, and authorship, starting his own business equipment from a young age. Jim achieved significant success selling it for 17 million to a Fortune 500 company. We need to talk a little bit about that, Jim. Jim achieved a significant, his venture include the Mouse Bungee Company, where he appeared on QVC multiple times, a greeting company with high-profile clients like Elizabeth Taylor, Kathy Ireland. Jim's experience extends to network marketing. This is his expertise, his bread and butter, where he garnered prestigious honors and became a noted inventor with numerous patents as well. Currently has a partner in the consistency chain and his own American business systems for 20 years now. He is bringing, consistency to organizations. He has authored 3 books and he remains to be the serial entrepreneur that he is today. And today he is going to share that insight with us. Jim, thank you for coming on here. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. And let's not forget, I've been married 54 years either.
Wow, that is not that is an achievement that should not be overlooked. Perhaps the most important of all. Jim, you need to give us some marriage advices today. But before we get into that, Jim, your journey, it spans various industries, various ventures. I called you a serial entrepreneur, but I feel like with what you've done, that sounds like an understatement. To me, it feels like an understatement. Can you share to us any pivotal moments in your experience that shaped your approach to business, to consistency, to entrepreneurship? Did you always know that as a young kid you were going to get into this industry? What is the story of Jim Packard?
Well, as you said, I graduated from the University of Maine.
Mhm.
Stephen King was actually in my class.
Yes, he
So,
graduated
yes,
in the
which
same
is,
class.
yes, he did. I couldn't wait to get out of college and get a job. And that's
Mhm.
just what I did. I got a job at a large retail store called G. Fox and Company. They're out of
Mhm.
Hartford, Connecticut. Big retail store, like 5,000 people worked in the store.
Oh,
And I remember that they had a sales contest. And the
okay.
sales contest was whoever had the highest percentage over quota for their department won a trip to Bermuda. And I'm thinking,
Ooh,
wow, okay, well, I went for it. I won the trip. Sherry and I, it was the first time my wife had ever flown at the time.
wow, wow.
And it was interesting. I was working a 9 to 5 job. I was a department manager and an assistant buyer.
Mhm.
And and it was nothing more than a glorified stock boy to a certain extent.
Mhm.
But when I won the trip and I
Okay.
got back home, there
Mhm.
was a letter in the mail. And the
Oh,
letter said, "Dear Mr. Packard, your name has come to our attention as the type of person who possesses the quality that we're looking for. We'd love to talk to you and your
mhm.
lovely wife at the Holiday Inn at 7 o'clock, downtown Hartford." And I'm thinking, Joshua, yes, somebody heard about the contest I just
All
won.
right.
Now
Wow.
I'm getting
Wow.
recognized.
Okay.
But I found out it was a network marketing meeting.
Oh,
I had no idea what
oh,
network marketing was.
okay.
Uh, they sold my wife and I the dream. Now you got to remember, this was in 1972,
Mm-hmm.
and to join the network marketing company, it was $3,200.
Oh, in
Now,
1972?
yeah. Now I was only
Oh,
making $7,016 as an assistant buyer. I
uh-huh.
can't believe that the bank even gave us the loan to
Hmm.
join. But we joined the company. It was called Bestline, if anybody's ever heard of it. We got
Interesting.
$3,200 worth of concentrated soap delivered to our little apartment. And then I was in the network marketing business.
Wow.
Now I did okay with it. I won a couple trips, and but the
Hmm.
company eventually got shut down for
Hmm.
front end loading. That's what they called it.
Hmm.
And but what happened for me personally is it's the first time in my life I read books like Think and Grow Rich,
Hmm.
and what the mind can believe it can achieve. If you think you can
Yes.
or think you can't, you're right either way. And it really gave me the basis and the confidence to go into sales. And eventually I started my own company, which was American Business System, and I ran that
Hmm.
for about 25 years.
Wow.
That's how I got into network marketing. Isn't that crazy?
That is quite the story. First of all, how much does $3,000, $3,200 cost in today? That was the value today, right? Like that was a huge leap.
Oh, you don't know how many plastic bottles they get shipped to us in bottles of concentrated soap where we had to mix it 10 to 1. I mean,
Oh
it
my
was,
goodness.
yeah, and to join as a distributor, it was cost $3,200. I mean, it was not insignificant by any means.
That
But
was a lot.
that was my first introduction to it.
What drew you into it, Jim? It almost felt like you got into it, network marketing, you started sales, you felt like you started your growth and your path on that. But what initially drew you to network marketing and what allowed you to stick with it?
Well, what drew me into it was the income potential.
Hmm.
I mean, the original set of goals, I have them over here on my wall.
Really? Oh my goodness.
I wrote down the 22 things I wanted to accomplish. And I
Wow.
remember when I left the department store, I started looking for businesses, or I wanted to get into sales, something that I could
Hmm.
be outside and determine my own income. And I
Right.
remember applying for a job at SCM Corporation, and they were looking for salespeople, and they were interviewing like 48 people, and I was one of the people they were interviewing. And they told me,
Interesting.
"Well, I'm sorry, son, you don't really qualify. Selling in a retail environment is not like selling, going out and selling to the public."
Oh.
And I remember I said to the manager, I said to him, I said, "Well, that's a shame." And I reached into my wallet and I pulled out the 22 original goals that I wrote down. And I said, "I have a list of 22 things that I want to buy, and I need a vehicle to do that." I was hoping that this company would be that vehicle, because if it was, I was going
Wow.
to make us both a lot of money. They hired me
Oh,
on the spot.
right
Right.
there.
That's how I
Wow.
got into sales.
That's interesting. That's super interesting. And of course, it's one thing to also have that, that skill in sales, but in that that vision that you had with that list must have been really driving. It's a driving force. Must have felt something that pushed you forward as well. I mean, having clear visions, having daily actions, these is, I feel, one of the things that you guys focus on in the consistency chain. I understand that this is a company that you run with George, and you
Yeah,
also wrote the book, The Consistency Chain. And oh, in your episode with Brandon Eastman as well, I remember that you said that the consistency chain is a goal setting strategy for people that have a hard time sticking to a plan. Talk to us a little bit more about that. Unravel
sure.
to us the practical strategies that go behind the consistency chain.
Well, I met George. Now, this is, after I sold the company to a Fortune 500 firm,
Hmm.
and I moved to Arizona. I was looking for something to do. I found one of the things that when we own our own businesses, I got involved with sending birthday cards to the copiers and the faxes and the
All right.
printers that we
Okay.
used to sell. And remember,
Hmm.
people used to love that. So when I moved to Arizona, I got into a network marketing company, And my son was having a training session. He asked me if I'd come down and visit with him. He said, I have a guest speaker, and it was George Campbell. Now,
Oh
George
wow.
is a very talented person. He's was a
Hmm.
stand-up comic for 10 years with Jerry
Wow.
Seinfeld and that whole group that came up together.
Oh
He
wow.
then, for 25 years, he did a show called Joe Malarkey, America's Worst Motivational Speaker. And I loved his routine. I went up to him afterwards and I
Uh-huh.
said, George, if you ever need a partner on stage,
Hmm.
let me know. And he says, well, actually, Jim, I'm putting together a program right now. You would be the perfect partner
Wow.
because in our book, we talk about 20% of the salesmen make 80% of the sales in any
Hmm.
organization, right?
Yes. Yes.
Well, I'm the 20%er in the group with George and I.
Hmm.
I talk to the first three rows of the audience. He talks to everybody sitting in the back of the room. And
Wow.
the whole premise of the book is how can somebody be so successful in one area of their life, yet so unsuccessful in another area? And we started doing research on it. And the answer to that
Hmm.
question is probably not what you think it is.
Huh.
And in fact, I think I got the book right here. It is right
Oh,
here.
please. There you
It's
go.
called The Consistency Chain for Network Marketing.
Hmm.
You can find it on Amazon,
Hmm.
and we also have the Audible version. But we delve into what makes a person successful and what doesn't make them successful. And like you say, it's a goal setting strategy that the people that have a hard time sticking to a goal or sticking to a
Hmm.
plan.
Well, that's interesting and a great story between you and George coming together, partnering up, and creating this and working this company, the consistency chain that up until today, you know, you guys are still working together. That must have been quite the journey as well. Um, Jim, as an inventor, you also have numerous patents, and also you
Oh yeah,
mentioned yet there, you mentioned also we need to talk about that. The company that you sold when you were, I think you were 27, right? If I'm not mistaken, you were
yeah.
27. You sold that company to a Fortune 500 company. What was that? Um, what was that company? And talk to us a bit about these patents that you have. It's very interesting.
Well, the company I sold to was a company called Icon Office Solution. They're a
Hmm.
$6 billion company, and
Wow,
we sold to them, and because they were the best company to take care of my employees and my customers, and so that
awesome.
was easy. As far as the inventions go, I actually invented a product that everybody in your audience has used at one time or another. Right?
Please, please,
I also invented a product that I'll show it to you. Okay.
please, please, please
Right?
show us.
This is it right here.
Right
It holds a
there.
spring,
Wow.
okay?
Okay.
And this is a mouse. And when you
Of
use the mouse, it's a
course.
corded mouse.
Hmm.
The cord doesn't get hung up in your desk. This is called
Hmm.
a mouse bungee. That's what we named it.
There
I'm the
you
big
go.
cheese of the mouse. I'm the big cheese of the mouse bungee company. And this got us on QVC.
Wow.
Now, on
Yes.
QVC, they only take three products out of every 100 that are submitted to them.
Hmm.
All right.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
we got selected. We sold millions of dollars worth of them on QVC. I think I was on 30 times. I'd go on,
Fantastic.
show the product and watch the buzzers go off and everything. So that was one product that we invented with my partner. In that company is a gentleman by the name of Ed Larkin. It's just a dear friend of mine, still is today. We sold that company to a company in Singapore called Razer, which is a big
Right.
gaming company,
Yep.
right?
Razor.
And
Yes. Huge.
so, and
Fantastic story.
the
Please.
product that everybody has used, would you like to see
Hmm.
it?
Please,
All
please.
right.
Very interesting. But
It's the
of
coffee
course,
cover lid that goes onto a
really,
coffee cup. Yeah.
really
My dad and I have the
interesting.
patent for that. I've got the
Wow.
patent on the wall over here. And
Wow.
we invented this product. We didn't make any money, but we invented the product. We learned our lesson on that one. But uh,
Wow, the patent. I mean, you have the patent, but you're saying you have the patent, but you're not making anything off of the patent.
no, we made a lot of mistakes on that, but it's
Oh,
okay. we made up for it later on. So
Okay, the lesson learned there. I mean, imagine everyone is using it right now. All coffee
yeah,
shops.
yeah,
It's practically
everybody.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, anyway, these are great stories, Jim. But what a journey. The mouse bungee, the big cheese. If you're the big cheese, what was your partner's nickname?
We called him the office boy.
Okay, of course, it's
Yeah.
totally relatable, right? Totally
Yeah.
related to what you guys do. And today, Jim, you also have your greeting card company, and this is very interesting because you've had high-profile clients like Elizabeth Taylor, Janet Jackson. First off, how did you approach building this business, building those relationship, but at the same time, where did the inspiration come from this greeting card company? You kind of mentioned that earlier, but talk to us about it.
Yeah. Well, when I was building my copier business,
Hmm.
we used to, when you sold a copier, there weren't any cards that you could send to people. I mean, you could go to Staples and find a card that says thanks or thanks for your birthday.
Hmm.
We came up with some pretty creative cards. We came up with a card that I'll give you an
Please.
example. This is one right here. It just says Babe Ruth struck out more times than he hit home runs. All right.
Okay, that's cute.
And then when you open it up, it says, although we didn't do business this time,
Hmm.
you pull the little thing out of the bottom. It says, we're looking forward to our next at bat.
All right. Okay,
All
that
right.
is very cool. Very
And
cool.
then, I mean, here's another one is a toast to the best darn client in the world. All right.
Hmm.
You're smart, charming, witty, and wise, and if I may say so, quite special. Then you pull out the punchline right here. In fact, we're so much alike, it's scary. So I came up with when I moved to Arizona, I found a graphic artist. We created the
Hmm.
cards for two niche markets. One was for salespeople,
Hmm.
right? And one was for pets.
Oh,
And I made a sales call on a company called PetSmart because they're located
uh-huh.
out here in Phoenix. And
Yes.
within 90 days, our pet themed greeting cards were in over 900 stores nationally.
Wow. Wow.
And then
Wow,
I took
incredible.
the salesman type of cards and I
Hmm.
would go out to different businesses and
Hmm.
show them how they could use these cards to keep their customer retention rates up. And we did that until a point where I met somebody and he told me, there's a greeting card company out there that
Hmm.
makes greeting cards.
Hmm.
And that morning, I happened to receive a bill for like $5,600 worth of these little teeny envelopes that are inside these
Right.
cards.
Hmm.
And somebody was telling me there's a company out there that you can just go to their website, find the greeting card you like, type your message, type it
Uh-huh.
in your own handwriting,
Hmm.
and then hit a button that says send, and they print it stuff in and mail it for you. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, that
Wow.
saves all my
Hmm.
inventory, all my
Hmm.
warehousing, all
Hmm.
my
Hmm.
creating of the cards. So
Hmm.
I joined them, my second network marketing company,
Yeah.
and whatever it was, 20 years ago. And the
Wow.
first two people I ever sponsored, I mean,
Hmm.
number one and number two,
Hmm.
were both my sons.
Of course. Ah, that's
And
lovely.
all three of us went on to become runner-up distributors of the year and distributors of the year. And
Let's
and
go.
that's, I mean, and I still use the service today.
There you
I mean,
go.
I still use it today. I have thousands of customers that use these cards just to keep in touch with their clients.
What a lovely story. Once again, Jim, you tell all these you always seem to also involve your family, which I think is very lovely. It's always there. It's always a common thread in your stories. And your greeting card concept is just so simple, but it's also, you know, it's intimate, so to speak. It's very, it's very real, it's very genuine. No wonder it's kicked off, and right up until today, we still have those greeting cards. And you do have a promo going on right now, offering $5 for 3 greeting cards as a trial. All we have to do is get on
Yep.
the link, sendoutcards.com/rainmaker. We're also going to put up that link on the description below. So I invite all our audience and listeners out there, if you love those cards that Jim just showed to us, get on there, get that link. I mean, I love it already. Like it's very interesting. Get on there. You could customize your messages, you could customize your cards and send it to a loved one, send it to someone special to you. Jim, as we bring this to a close, I love that again, like I said, the common thread in your theme is your family is always involved. um I kind of want to circle back a little bit to the emphasis of daily wins and relentless consistency. You have been married 54 years, Jim, and that is an achievement that today we don't quite see often, right? What does it take, Jim, overall in life when it comes to consistency? What does that bring into our lives, and what does it take for us to be consistent every day?
It's interesting. When I was going to college,
Mhm.
my wife was in high school. She sent me a greeting card every single
Oh
day
my
that I was away.
goodness. Oh,
Now,
the
as she
story.
tells the story, that's when they were 35 cents or 45 cents
Mhm.
for a greeting card.
Mhm.
But I look back and I look at consistency. And let's say you took a penny
Yeah.
and you doubled it every single day for
Mhm.
30
Mhm.
days.
Mhm.
Okay. At the end of the month, as you know, if you took that penny and you doubled it every single day, at the end of 30 days, you would have close to $5 million. Right?
Wow, of course. Mhm.
If you took the same penny
Mhm.
and you doubled it every other day,
Okay.
at the end of 30 days, you'd have $163 in the bank. So I
Mhm.
ask you, are you building a $163 business or a $5 million business?
Wow.
That's the power of
Wow.
consistency.
That's it right there. And that everyone knows the answer to that question, of course. And consistency, daily wins. I remember in one of your episodes with George on your podcast, Selling from the Heart podcast, you mentioned that just doing it, having that win, that daily wins every day is very consistent to not ever break that because that it was takes you to your $5 million business, basically.
Absolutely. It all ties together, doesn't it?
Precisely. Jim, this has been lovely. Um, to kind of just take this home, give us one last advice, but give us a marriage advice, Jim. 54 years.
Yeah.
Close it all for us. Take us home. What would it
So
be?
as my wife would say it, have fun. All right. She still laughs at all my jokes. All
Wow.
right. And I think just, I mean, it's a challenge, obviously, right?
Mm-hmm.
54 years.
Mm-hmm.
It's certainly
Mm-hmm.
you have your ups and your downs, uh,
Mm-hmm.
but keep your sense of humor.
All right. Of course. And today, you keep that sense of humor in your greeting cards. We certainly see that joy and enthusiasm with the way you tell your stories as well. And Jim, it has been lovely. I am glad that you came onto the show. Thank you so much, Jim. And is there anything else you'd like to leave us?
No, if they want to find me, just go to Amazon, the book's on
Hmm.
Amazon, or they can try
Precisely.
the link and try 3 cards, see what the kind of reaction you get, and take it from there. So,
Precisely. And where can we find you? LinkedIn, Instagram? Are you
yeah,
on
you can
anywhere
find
else?
me on LinkedIn, Jim Packard, and I do a number of different things. So, yeah, please call me anytime. You call me anytime. I'd love to hear from people.
All right, fantastic. That's lovely. Jim, thanks so much for the stories. Thank you so much for the insight. And thank you for coming on once again.
My pleasure. Thank you.
To all our audience and listeners out there. See you on the next one. All right. Wow. That was pretty smooth. And I think we just hit the timing right on the head. But I loved your stories, Jim. Thank you so much for that. What did you think of the interview?
No, I thought it was very well. The only thing that I didn't bring up that I probably should have
Oh,
was the influence that Jay Abraham had on me.
oh,
All
really?
right.
Oh, we should
Yeah.
have mentioned that. Oh, yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
Because he is interesting. And in his book, Getting All You Can Out of All You Got,
Hmm.
he talks about if you look at some industries and you take what makes them successful and you apply it to your own industry, what might be as common as dirt in their industry could have the effect of an atomic bomb going off on yours. And
Interesting.
this
Interesting.
this little envelope idea,
Uh-huh.
right? Having the little
Uh-huh.
envelope in the greeting card,
Yes.
came from the Cracker Jacks. You remember how the little gift in the Cracker Jacks?
Wow. Okay, interesting.
The mouse spongy, which
Yes.
is, on a spring, blah, blah, blah.
Uh-huh.
That came from your grandmother's iron
Of
with the hub in the
course. Of
springs.
course.
And when we were building our business, I took the entire sales force to the Sandals resorts. Now
Mhm.
that's a resort where it's all inclusive.
Uh-huh.
And you go there, you check in, you put your wallet in the safe, and all the drinks, all the activities on the beach are part of it, right?
Mhm.
And so when I got back home, I said, let's have an all-inclusive type of product. And when I came out with the copiers, let's say you wanted a copier for your office, rather
Yes.
than you pay $500 or $1,000 for it, you pay
Mhm.
for the maintenance, you pay for the supplies, you pay for your paper, blah, blah, blah. I would
Mhm.
just come to you and say, Joshua, for a nickel a copy, I'll bring the copier in, set it over here. The
Wow.
end of the month, we'll read your meter. I'll charge you a nickel times how many copies you made. That's what turned our
Oh,
company around.
wow. Fantastic. What a fantastic story. We could actually still include that, Jim, because it's still recording. I still have the recording going. I can have this like as an outtake or like an outro bonus footage.
Oh, fine. Yeah.
Fantastic story, Jim. You've got the great stories. You got the best stories. I love it. I love that you have you on. Thank you for agreeing to come on here with me. Jim, this is what I always do right after the episode. I think you'd be perfect on more podcasts. Are you still doing the podcast with George?
Yes. Yes, we are. Yeah.
Fantastic. How do you feel about guesting on more podcasts?
Sure. I'd be love to do it. I'll reach out to George and see if he'd like to do it.
All right, fantastic. Well, this could either be you and George or just you. I'd love to book you a time, a strategy call with my co-host, with my partner Shaheen Cheyenne, and what we do is we get people booked on as many podcasts as they can manage. There's probably something that you and George could use as well at the same time. What time zone are you in?
Pacific.
Yes, Pacific. Okay, just wanted to make sure. How does how does the tomorrow sound 3:30 p.m.?
Tomorrow. I don't know if I can do it tomorrow.
Mhm. That's fine.
Now, what would this podcast be about?
Oh no, it's about just like a booking. We'll get you guys booked on as many podcasts as possible. So it's not the particular podcast, but getting you guys on podcast. So you guys can talk about if it fits, you guys can talk about something that you could use or both you and George could use.
Um,
Or Thursday, 11 a.m. That might work better.
yeah, yeah. I'm actually going to Tucson.
Oh
I
wow.
won't be back until Tuesday after or Thursday afternoon.
Thursday afternoon
Um,
on the same week on the 16th.
yeah, I'll be back. I was going to ask Sherry what time you think we'll get back. I'd probably be back by 3 o'clock, 3:30,
Right. Okay. Well, um,
or next week. Or
let's
next week is fine. I'm
yeah,
available
next week.
next week.
Let's do next week, Monday, 2 p.m.
You got it. Monday at 2. Okay.
All right. Monday at 2 p.m. with Jim.
Oh, okay. You
Jim,
got
your
it.
email is jim@jimpacker.com, right?
Yes, that's correct. Yeah.
And Jim, hold on here while I book you on that. Just real quick. And Jim, one last question while I got you on there and I booked you. When's your birthday?
May 1st.
May 1st. Oh, we just missed it. Congratulations, Jim, and happy,
Thank you.
happy birthday. Um, how young are you?
76.
What? Really? I'm thinking like 60s. So you're
Yeah.
76. Wow,
Yeah.
you're almost 80, Jim. Congratulations. Wow, what a
Thank
life.
you.
What a life. You've done everything. Basically.
I'm not done. I'm not done either.
Oh, I bet, Jim. I mean, you got all these ideas, and they all seem to have worked. And wow, I would love to stay in touch. You know, keep in touch with what's next with you, and you know, stay. Are you on WhatsApp or on LinkedIn, or what would be the best place to
Now
stay connected?
I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on LinkedIn. My son has a business. Uh, he does a podcast called "I Need a Coach," and
Oh,
and he does. He basically finds leads for people. That's what he does. Okay,
okay.
he generates leads for coaches, and so if you go to my LinkedIn profile, you'll see Ninja Prospecting.
There you go.
Right?
Right.
I interview. I mean, I've got 125 people to speak to now that I talk to them to see if they would be a fit for his show.
Oh, interesting.
Right now, to be a guest on one of his shows, you have to do at least a minimum of 6 figures a year. All right,
Of
have
course.
some
Of
unique
course.
ideas that make you a unique coach.
Of
And
course.
he just had Bob Berg on, for example,
Wow.
okay, on his
Really. Wow. That's
program.
interesting.
And and
It's.
so I field leads for him
Mhm.
to try to find him prospects for his, for his lead generation business.
Wow.
So when
Yeah.
you go to LinkedIn, you'll see that first. Then
Okay.
you'll see my, the consistency chain. Then you'll see my retention business, which is the greeting cards. So
Right. Okay.
it's it's a little
It's all on
misleading,
there.
but it's out there. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, I'll stay in touch with you, Jim, and it's been great today. Thank you for coming on.
My pleasure. Talk to you later, Joshua. Bye bye.
Thank you for your time. Bye bye.
All right, so here's the thing. We try to get a little bit better every day, but we can't do it without you. So if you like the video, make sure to like and subscribe below. And if you have any comments, just leave them in the space under.